The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
You know the preacher likes the cold, you know he's gonna stay. But that's no California dream we float above. Nope. Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship has indeed come to Sonoma for round 4 of 12 on the Season 6 calendar. And all the simulated open-wheel racing from both the 40-minute feature and the 25-minute sprint that follows can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Hello from the Golden State and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our bird's eye view is yours truly, Bill Soups On, along with Sean Crackers Ambrose. Down in the production van, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders, is the best director in sim race broadcasting, Amjad Yaman. And the cameras at his disposal have been located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard.
And as cyberspace flows into your place over the next 15 streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines and all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the doubleheader Formula Renault 2.0 Championship event that will immediately follow.
And Crackers, you know, Formula Renault 2.0 Championship hasn't come here before. The last time the AOR raced open-wheeled cars here was way back in Season 4, and that was in the Pro Mazda.
Soup just rolled in from the wine tasting. It's good afternoon there. Here at Sonoma, nestled in the Sonoma Mountains, in the center of California's wine industry. Yes, of course. Again, that tour was very good. Look them up. The track opened up in 1968. The facility endured a turbulent history under a variety of owners and track names such as Sears Point Raceway, Infineon Raceway. Yeah, does anyone remember that? Until it was taken over by Speedway Motorsports in 96. Sonoma is on the real-world schedule, of course, for both NASCAR and IndyCar, and iRacing offers 4 different configurations, a couple specific for IndyCar, but this afternoon we are racing on the full configuration with the full extended run in a turn 11 hairpin. It's 2.5 miles. There are 12 turns that rise and fall over a dusty landscape, Soup.
And Sean, you spent some time out there in the Formula Renault getting used to this place. How did the car and track match up?
Ugh. The car and track actually match up really well. There's a lot of speed in the Formula Renault 2.0 here. There's actually several flat-out sections where you can just mash it and go. Up the hills, though, very tricky. And that's going to be turn 2, the right-hander up the hill, and of course, turn 3A. Those 2 uphill right-handers, very, very tough. Very tough to find the balance in the car when you come down the hill into turn 4. Out of that, and then the carousel, uphill and down, turn 6. All very, very challenging spots on the track. Now, the S is on the backside, where you see turn 8 and 8A. In this car, one of the really cool things, you can almost go flat out in that. I'm not a pro. I have to lift a little bit, but I saw several drivers hitting those curves just right and really sprinting through there.
Okay, practice is just about done, and they're going to be going out for a warm-up lap, and we're going to take a second and cover those qualifying laps a minute. We're going to change stuff up a little bit here in the Countdown to Green. But right now, before we do that, let's go ahead and review what happened last time when this series went to round 3 in the dunes at Zandvoort. 29 drivers took the grid with Mark Usher on the pole. The first lap had a light sprinkling of incidents, and most of the significant ones were minor, but the big one was Michael Mittner spinning while in 4th and falling to last and having to fight all the way back to salvage an 8th place result. Most of the action was provided by Phil Reed, Renee Osterkamp, Josh Thompson, Kerry Nolden, who finished 3rd through 6th in that order listed there. Up front, not so dramatic. Mark Usher went wire to wire to win, with Christian Koch holding station in 2nd all the way and Jean-Francois Godin doing the same from 3rd. Now, 21 drivers finished on the lead lap, earning Lauren Suddenstrike de Rijk the pole position in the sprint race. By the halfway mark of the race, de Rijk had opened up, get this, a 6.4 second lead. Phil Reed started 17th, picked up 6 spots on lap 1, 2 more on lap 2, was 7th by lap 5, and 2nd by lap 10. Now, An on-track mistake by DeRuyck, 5 seconds, cost him towards Reed and put Reed right on his tail in a battle for first place. With 3 laps to go, the season highlight reel got its top clip so far when Reed challenged for the top spot by going outside of turn 1. Sudden Strike got a little bit loose and got into Reed and turned him perpendicular, then tapped him again a second time, straightened out Reed. Unfortunately, DeRuyck was put into the wall. Reed went on to win with Jordi Lopez coming from 25th to 2nd, and Christian Koch 19th to 3rd, with Sudden Strike coming home outside the points in 18th. So, before we go to qualifying, let's go ahead and bring up the graphic, show you who the big points winners were the last round there. Now, once again, the chart shows that you don't have to win a race to be the big winner. A 2nd in the feature and a 3rd in the sprint earned Christian Koch 43 points, 1 more than Phil Reed, who won the sprint and had a 4th in the feature. With bonus points, Mark Usher earned 34 for his feature win, and that alone ranked him 3rd. A 6th followed by a 7th put Josh Thompson in 4th on the overlay with 28, and Jean-Francois Godin continues his quest for a 2nd championship with another steady points day. So that's what happened last time at Zandvoort, but let's turn our cameras now to some drivers just coming out on the track to put in these qualifying laps. Sean, they get 3 of them. We'll cover maybe the first ones going around. In practice, sitting at the top, it was surprisingly Jordi Lopez.
Boy, I don't know how surprising that was. Jordi is, he's been awful fast ever since he showed up this season, Soup. I'm looking for more out of the New Jersey driver today. This being an American track, listen, it's been around for a while. It's also been in a lot of different, let's say, racing games and arcade games over the years, and certainly found its way to this sim. And depending on how long you've been at this, some may just have a totally different level of experience than others at this circuit. Again, it's tried and true, and it's been around for a long time. But man, you can't leave out the Finns. There's a lot of them here, and the Scandinavians. Look for them to be very, very fast. This is the type of track that I think favors their type of driving style. So we'll have to look out for guys like Erka Lindstrom and Jonas Vastamaki today, and Joel Jeroen de Cortel, who I did several practice laps behind yesterday. Note that I was never in front of him, but behind him.
Well, Jordi Lopez comes across the line, putting it a 1:26.3. That's the best so far, just ahead of Christoph Holstein, who was also fast in practice. Holstein puts in a 1:25.7.
Yeah, and I don't know, with the current track conditions, it's a clear day here this afternoon. 81 degrees, it's 105 degrees on track, Soup, and honestly, I don't know that you're going to see a 124. I'd be surprised. The 125 seems about the most they're going to be able to get out of it in these conditions. I could be surprised here. Someone could have been laying back a little bit and maybe not showing their hand until qualifying. But, man, listen, on the pole, that's where you want to be here at Sonoma. A very, very tough track to pass on, Sig.
Well, look at Jordi now down to 9th as some other types have come in. Christoph Holstein, Andy Cowie up there with a 25.9.
Yeah,
the Tierney too. Go ahead.
The Milkman, another guy who was very fast in practice yesterday, spent a couple laps behind him as well.
13, 14 drivers now have put in their time. So far, I'm looking at about 20. Let's see how many people put in practice laps here. 27 drivers. A few big names are not here. I'm not seeing Christian Koch here today. He may show up later. And I don't see the other Christian. I don't think to catch here as well.
Yeah, to catch just got here.
Okay.
He's here.
Summertime, as the days grow longer, it's hard to get those Friday nights. A lot of stuff going on. Let's go ahead now and talk about the driver standings. We talked about who won the day at Zandvoort. So how does that relate, and what does that mean in the Drivers' Championship? Now, keep in mind, when we look at these point standings, GSRC will show you the standings. They take into account the 2 drop events that the rules allow for. And what this really reflects is each driver's best single result, plus all the bonus points they've earned the entire season. The highest drop race is also indicated there in yellow in the pocket points. He earned 43 at Zandvoort, throw in a couple extra bonus points earlier in the season, and there you have it. It's Vector Sim Sports Christian Koch out in front. Mega Drive's Phil Reed is 3 back with Red Devil Christian Tkach and Oscar Mangan of Infinity Sim Sports tied for third, 6 points back. However, notice Mangan's pocket points of 2. That means if he has a bad results, he's going to have to score that 2 there. Evo Sonic's Jean-Francois Godin fills out the left side of the overlay. 3 privateers litter the right side of the overlay in the form of Mark Usher, Jody Lopez, and Daniel Morris. SimRC's Renee Osterkamp sits in 7th, and Puccini Racing's Aisio Tejas tied there for 8th. Quickly, let's go ahead to the team championship. That also takes into account the drop races. Oscar Mangan and Joshua Thompson has Infinity Sim Sports on top. But remember, Mangan is low on that drop insurance. Christian Tkach and Charlie Summers, who's been very impressive, are only a point back in second. And Vector Sim Sport, powered by Christian Koch and Michael Mittner, hot on their heels in third. The defending duet of Phil Reed and Kerry Nolden have Mega Drive in fourth, with SimRC in fifth, thanks to the efforts of Renee Osterkamp and the newcomer Philip Jung. Evo Sonic, Vector Shadows, TDT Racing, Puccini Racing, and Formula Mini fill out the right side. Now, Crackers, the Renault 2.0 Championship seems to never fail to put on a great show for the fans, and we show that the series details, we'll show those series details now for new viewers. So often these races are decided by stuff. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, Soup. I jumped the gun there. We're all ready to go. Maybe too much Monster today before this broadcast. Season 6, welcome aboard. Round 4 today. This will be the feature race in the Formula Renault 2.0. It's a machine that's got only 4 cylinders, but about 2,000 cc's. It's an awful, powerful beast in these tiny open-wheel tubs. It is an open setup, Soup. And now they don't have full fuel on board. So this feature race being 40 minutes, they will need to make a pit stop, at least one. That window pretty wide. They can take it anywhere from about 6 to 7 laps in. They're good to take a stop. Now this format today is very special, and this is what we do every week. It's 2 races per event. We have this feature race, 40 minutes, and then we run a 25-minute sprint race. Possibility for 2 different winners today, and awful possible to have the same one both times. So yeah, when we start this race, it's a standing start. Everybody is slotted by how they qualified. You don't have any time to heat these tires up. Getting up those hills and those first couple of right-handers, going to be a little sketchy. We may see a little bit of trouble, Soup. I hope not. The most important thing to remember is you can't get a fast repair on these cars, and without that, that means you got to ride with what you've got. And as we've seen, the Formula Renault 2.0, not the most durable machine on the circuit. So we'll have to watch that today, but we already talked about the weather. This is going to be a great race today, Sue.
Now, we have a doubleheader format that makes this series completely different than anything else the GSC covers. First up is, of course, the feature race that we just talked about. And not only winning, but staying on the lead lap is important. Let's go ahead and bring those up. And Sean, tell us what we're looking at there highlighted in yellow.
Yeah, Soup. Again, 40 minutes. 1 pit stop will be involved today. There'll be 16, the incident limit, okay? 16. Now, that's getting off course. That's getting the wheels off to the side of the track, in the dirt, over the curbs. Contact, you can pick up incidents as well with another driver or with an obstacle on the track. You've got to watch that. So that's could be an issue here in the early start of the race. It's 40 minutes, 16. They can rack up pretty quick, Sue.
And there you have it. Now, also, pit lane's interesting here as you have that exit. Unusual, you exit on the left side, the outside part of the track. You go around the hairpin. It's a long pit lane. And the box is short here, but nevertheless, you have to be quick down the pit lane and then off the pit lane as well, as it exits you right into corner number 2. Let's go ahead and run through the grid as qualifying is all done. Sean, up on front, Christoph Holstein and Renee Osterkamp.
Yes, sir. And then it's going to be Oscar Mangan and the Milkman, Andy Cowie, going to start 4th.
Phil Reed and Ty McLeod making up row 3.
Charlie Summers, Manuel Hoyer in row 4.
Jordy pushed the Envelopez in the 9th position and Josh Thompson in 10th.
All right, row 6 going to be Adam Tierney and Michael Mittner.
Baker doesn't position Endrick Andre with Kerry Nolden way back in 14th.
All right, row 8, Jeroen de Quartel and Daniel Morris.
Lawrence sudden strike to right, who was tasting a victory last time in the sprint race, starting 17th, Patrick Kessler outside of him.
Row 10, Knut Martinsen and Eunice Vastamaki.
Hidden Blackjack, it's Evan Emre. The double duck position goes to defending champion. What is he doing in 22nd? Christian to catch.
All right. Row 12, Lee Robinson, Urka Lindstrom.
Row 13, Odd Jonas Villeman and Stevie Chambers back there in 26th. And the last driver on the entry list is Stephen Ash, qualifying, did not put in qualifying time. 27 names on the entry list, 26 put in qualifying times. We're waiting for them to grid up right now here under the California sun at Sonoma.
So, it's time to boogie, baby. Let's get this party started.
Hardly any time as these 40-minute races go by in a blink. There will be one pit stop, but right now the attention is all on Christoph Holstein, who sits up in front in that beautiful blue machine, sparkling under this afternoon sun here in Central California. Renee Ousterkamp in that familiar SimRC yellow paint scheme behind him, staggered off on the outside of row number 1. About 10 seconds, the lights go up. You can hear the engine start to harmonize right now. All right, boys and girls, take your last sip of drink. Have your last bite of food. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn. And it is Christoph Holstein leading the stampede down through 1 into the sweeping right-hander that is turn 2. Osterkamp behind him. The milkman, Andy Cowie, tucks into 3rd. Phil Reed in 4th. Rounding out your top 5 is Oscar Mangan. So far, it looks good all the way through the field. They are 2 by 2 as they work through 4. But everybody seems to be good. Very clean.
Yeah, so far so good. Still a couple cars trying to figure it all out here, Soup, though. It's Eric Andre and Michael Mittner coming down the hill side by side.
They are single file all the way back to 13th position. Our first real battle.
Oh,
we have one car off.
Charlie Summers. Charlie Summers makes contact with Manuel Hoyer. We'll get back to it soon.
We're going to take a look at that when he got into the back of Hoyer. And Hoyer then also got into the car of Jordi Lopez. So we'll come back and watch that one a little bit later. Right now, the action up front, Lopez continues to fall. We put the camera on Lopez as he is dropping spots quick. In fact, he's bringing it into the pit lane. Good battle up in 8th. This is Kerry Nolden being challenged by Adam Tierney. Nolden's going to secure that spot. Up in front is pretty tame with Christoph Holstein opening up about an 0.8 of a second lead on Osterkamp. Cowie, Reed, Mangan, McLeod round out your top 6.
Oof. You know, getting started with races here, so very, very tough, Soup. Again, the cold tires, cars spreading out, cars racing together in very, very tight spots, trying to fill each other out. So much going on right now.
We're going to head, things are settling down, so let's get to that replay right now. Sean, you had a good look at it. Take a peek at this one.
Yeah, honestly, Soup, I think he just gets in a little bit too hot there, and then the car starts to slide. There's Manuel Hoyer. He's going to get hit. And Summer just seemed like he missed the braking zone and just destroys the rear end of Mangan's car. He struggled to get all the way back to the pit. And
then that was Jordi Lopez who got into Hoyer, who was loose there, coming from farther back. And that's what forced Lopez to pit. There's Lopez there, the 3rd car to the incident. We come back live now. Oh, we got Stevie Chambers had an issue. Right as we come back, he lost it. This looks like he was...
Oh, boy. That's a shame. Poor Stevie.
That was just on the other side of the...
Yeah,
just... Go ahead.
I was going through the S's there on the back side of the course. And maybe it was just too much curb. Yeah, a little bit too much curbs. And we didn't talk enough about that, Soup. Right. There are a couple spots you can get in trouble here, and Unfortunately, Stevie did.
Look at that car from Chambers there. Are my rods and cones, was that like a blue and magenta scheme that he has on that? Oh my gosh. Stevie really pushing his luck with my eyes here. Let's go back up front and set the stage for the top 10. Christoph Holstein, he's been leading the whole way. He had about an 0.8 of a second gap, but able to close down in that yellow SimRC racing machine. That is Rene Osterkamp. Now, Osterkamp has opened up about 0.8 of a second on the Milkman. Andy Cowie out there having a great run. Haven't seen him run so far up front in a feature race in a long time as they work through 11, now coming onto the main straight. In 4th position, it's Phil Reed. He's always competitive. Surprisingly, a little bit off pace right now. If being in 5th is off pace, Oscar Mangman back there following Reed around. We talked about Ty McLeod. He's able to hang on, only a second back of Reed, running in 6th position. Josh Thompson, really good. Right now, we saw him have a great race in the Netherlands. Right now in a battle there with Kerry Nolden, Adam Tierney, and Enric Andre.
Yeah, Josh doing a really good job here. Nice, solid start. Seems to have a pretty good clue here at Sonoma. Managing the track well, and just here a couple laps ago set the fastest lap of the race. So certainly has the speed. Does he have the skill to get all the way to the front? The key right now for everybody in this field, though, Soup, stay on the lead lap. So important here.
Let's go back a spot to 9th position. This is a really tight battle, maybe the best one that I'm looking at right now. This is Adam Tierney, the newcomer. Look at this. This is Enric Andre making a run on the coming out of 7A. Now they are side by side through the S's. Can you do this through 8 and 8A? I guess so.
Someone had to give. Andre thinks about it and does, and now he's getting under attack from Michael Mittner.
Yeah, Mittner says, if you guys are going to try to do that, well, that's going to give me some momentum. As he pokes his nose in it, the thing's better of it as the Austrian driver backs out of it, and that's going to bring in Jeroen Portel. Cowie has had an issue.
Too much throttle.
Coming out of 11.
Coming out of that hairpin, and that famous hairpin, turn 11. A little bit too much throttle. He saves the car. A lot of runoff there to the right. Has to let a lot of cars get by.
Oh, and he's off again. Let's go live to him. He just got off, and he comes back. He got passed by Adam Tierney. Then he came back in front of Andre. Mittner goes by. Cowie drops in, finally cycling into 11th. And things have really gone sour for the Milkman.
They really have, Sue. Get that wonderful start up front, and it's been a struggle to get started for him.
Before we go up front, I want to drop back a little bit. A driver that we had big expectations for this season in 12th position, Jeroen de Cortel, running right behind Cowie. Hasn't had a great start to this season 6. Running in 12th right now, ahead of Daniel Morris. Also looking in there is Lawrence Sudden Strike to right, back there in 14th.
Soup, who's starting to pick up a little ground here is Christian Takacs. Now, he is following his fellow countryman there, Knut Martinsen. I got a feeling those two are doing a little work together here, trying to get their way up a little further up the field. Christian up 5 spots already. Got a partner to work with here.
Had a bad, really poor qualifying run for him. Nothing going on up front. Go ahead, Sean.
Daniel Morris had a lot of trouble managing turn 11. The hairpin got really wide and almost off into the tire barrier. Just barely keeps it on the track there.
We look at Daniel right there. Last season he was racing for Red Devil Racing, teamed up. Oh, look at that. There we have it. Oh, that was De Rijk from the back had an off. He just looped it around, put it into the sand. He lost a ton of positions.
Yeah, and again, I said these uphill right-handers can be a real struggle, Sue. Obviously, it was for Lawrence.
Let's go to 17th real quick when we come back live, because this is kind of fun. This is Jonas Vastamaki, but right behind him, Evan Emre in a real battle with Stephen Ash. These guys are fighting, even though they're still in the points. I think it pays down to 20th position. The last car in the train there, Lee Robinson. No, let me correct myself. That's Urka Lindstrom back there in 21st. A nice, about 7-car battle going on back there. The very last car, that's Lawrence Sudden Strike to Reich, who came back after he was off into the sand. I don't think he hurt the car, so Derek will try. There's a lot of positions for him to pick up. There's always action throughout the field here in these Formula Renault Championships. Nothing has changed up front as they continue to run in order.
Oh, contact. Was that Erka Lindstrom? No, it was Stephen Ash. In turn 11, gets into it with Lee Robinson.
Yeah, that was the blue car. The blue car of Ash got loose, and that's Robinson who just on his line had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and he just came right across Robinson's bow there and really caused heavy damage on that front wing after the pit entry, and Robinson's going to have to get all the way back around with that damaged car. You can see him hit there. Ouch.
Yeah. Came across the bow. Ahoy, he should have yelled.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're both struggling. Robinson having trouble. Let's go to 19th again. This is not giving up. We'll stick a little bit on these back markers for a minute. Vostok Maki being challenged by Erka Lindstrom as they head down into 7 and 7A. There's Lindstrom ducking inside. He forces him wide. Now let's see what kind of run he can get here off the 7A. Up the S's. I think he lost a lot of momentum there.
Yeah, so critical to get a good exit out of 7A. That really sets up your hairpin run, or your S run into the S's there. That's what I wanted to say.
I think we have an issue here. Let's see if we have. Nope. We heard a crash, but that's not the case. Let's jump up to our hard charger right now, who I think is Kerry Nolden, racing in 7th position. Well, he's tied as a hard charger. He's trying to run down Josh Thompson. He's been able to close him up a little bit. McLeod in 4th, Magden in 5th, Thompson in 6th, and then Nolden in 7th. They race all about equal distance, Sean, about 7 or 8 car lengths apart.
Yeah, and it's been pretty consistent so far. But they're gonna have to get faster if they had any chance of getting to the front here.
Now, I have spent no time in the car, and you have, so go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong, but just looking at it, I would say that there's like an aero push problem where nobody can seem to get on the back, but am I guessing, or that's really not a factor here?
No, it can be, but you just gotta, you really gotta time your opportunity on somebody like a run right now down into the hairpin here into turn 11. You've really just got to try and get to the inside of somebody and really outbrake him there and keep it tight on the inside and get an excellent, perfect run off of that hairpin. And Eric just not able to get it there. You get a little bit of toe going up the hill here, but the problem about trying to get any passing down up the hill here is you've got to keep it tight to the inside, and it's off camber. You're going to slide off the track. You've got to play it safe there. You can't be too risky. And again, back up the hill here. Same problem, same situation as the first time. And down the hill, again, not a good passing opportunity unless your opponent runs off the track. And then you're back to it again. You're up the hill and then back down the hill. And then you find another passing opportunity here, but you got to be really close. And Eric's there.
There he goes.
He's right there on the inside, taking advantage of him running wide.
But now he will be on the not preferred positions. They head down into 7. He'll be on the outside. Let's see if he can get a drive off of here. Looks pretty good. Oh, I like it. I like what I saw there.
He did get that drive off and gets the advantage. Look at that. Great move by Andre. And that's how you get it done. It really is. That was textbook right there.
And honestly, that's really one of the few passes I've been able to find on track that's been clean. The guys up in front continue to race and just in line with nobody really challenging anybody. We'll go up and take a peek here. Oosterkamp starting to come. I say the gap was about maybe 7 car lengths before. He's down to about 5 car lengths. If you want to do it on timing and scoring, about 0.4 of a second. He is beginning to come up on it. Let's maybe give a little love here to the 2 guys running up front, Christoph Holstein and Rene Oosterkamp. Sean, we have our first top name coming in. Christian Tkach coming in. He's way back.
Okay, yeah. Tkach coming in by himself there.
Now, we talked about a hard charger. Remember, we talked about Nolden being up 7 spots. He was tied with Tkach, who had also made up 7 spots.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know the replay is necessary, but Phil Reed actually got into a little trouble in the carousel coming down the hill in turn 6. Had to get off course, slow the car down. That has allowed Enric Andre and Adam Tierney, Michael Mentner, all those guys behind him to start to reel him in.
Boy, with passing it being at such a premium, this is the kind of race where you just want to keep it on the gray part of the venue, and you'll probably do okay. Oh, and Andy Cowie has banked it into the wall. Just happened about 10 seconds ago. This is going into 11. The car got loose. Watch as he gets out in the sand, and then he can't get it back.
And he misses the pit entry.
The car just wouldn't turn for him out there.
Well, and that will happen, Soup. If you miss your turn in there, and you're at full bore right here, you miss your turn in, and you got a little bit too much curb, and I think that's what upset the car, and you can't get it slowed down. Just misses the pit entry, can't get the car in there. That's critical. He's got to limp around now, Soup.
Okay, Tkach has come in and out. He's the leaders of all the cars who have pitted, with the exception of Jordi Lopez, but Lopez had to take that early stop. I think he has one more in his.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jordy's going to need another stop. I don't think he'll make it on fuel, Soup. Now, apologies to those who have corrected us about Enric Andre. Actually been here before, Soup, just not been with us, with you and me. He's a salty vet, I'm to understand.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. He had a name change, Soup. A name change.
That's very mysterious.
Well, he raced under the name, and I know you remember this, Alain Philippe Andre.
Oh, I'm glad he changed his name. I approve of this.
Yeah.
Less syllables.
Super proves. We're all in good shape now.
Let's look at third position here as we look at Enric Andre there. This is Ty McLeod having a good run in front of Oscar Mangan now. Mangan should be really fast, but he's having a hard time getting it going. Just had a little bit of an off right now, and he's being gobbled up by the driver behind him. In fact, Mangan's blinking
more trouble
for me.
For Mangan. More trouble coming down the hill in 6. Ouch.
He loses 2 spots. He comes right out in front of Phil Reed, who gets around him. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Phil didn't need that. And there's Enric on the inside.
And now Mangan's got it going again, but I don't think so.
Boy, Mangan's having connection trouble too, Soup. That does not help. In fact, Andre's going to back off because of it.
You don't need to be close to that. So Mangan drops down to 7. Reed up to 6. Nolan to 5th now.
Yeah, and Tierney's licking his chops back there, Soup.
Yeah, this is a good battle. We're looking here. We're on it right now. That's 7th position out in front. That's Reed, Magnan behind him. Magnan has a pretty good run. I just don't like his connection. He has a great run now. Going through 1. Boy, Reed didn't want any part of that. Reed misses the apex, though. Magnan now has the opportunity to stay Cialis bathtubs through 3 and 3A. Magnan has to drop back. Here comes Andre behind. Andre wants to get in there. He loses momentum.
Tierney,
Here comes Adam Tierney. And now Andre will have the preferred position. Tierney will have to get some type of drive from the outside. Not going to happen. Fun to watch, but when it all settles down, they race in the same order we started the show at. Boy, that's some good racing going on right there. Nobody making any pit stops. Tkach still the leaders of all the guys who've come in.
Not yet. Not yet, Soup. Now, we've said before, we don't have an accurate... We look at the off there by Mangan. Phil was off just a bit, and oh man, Andre has to really make an evasive move.
Oh, and up in
Andre's
front.
the wall.
That's Andre now. Now coming in, they're pitting now is the blue car. That's Mangden. Now did Andre hit the wall there? He had something that looked real similar to what Cowie had earlier, where he got off in the dirt. I think he's okay.
I think so. I don't see any damage. It looked like he hit the wall, but no, he must have just missed it, or at least rubbed a little bit of the lettering off the tires, Sue.
Looking at the battle for fourth now. This is Thompson and Nolden in a tough spot. Thompson out in front, Nolden behind.
All Nolan has done, Soup, since this race started is pick up spots. Up 9 to 5th. Chasing Thompson really hard here now.
I can report that Mangden finally comes out of the pit lane, but he had a really long stop, 12.2 seconds in his box. So To Catch has come out in front of him by about 1.5 seconds. So To Catch continues to be the leaders of all the cars who have pitted, being chased by Oscar back in 19th spot. There we look at Mangden right there. Let's run down your top 10 for you. It really hasn't changed much. Christoph Holstein out in front so far the whole time. And I think it's going to come down to pit stops. He's got an 0.8 of a second lead over Renault Osterkamp, who's just happy to sit back there in his yellow SimRC car. Oh no, let's go for the pass for the lead. There it is. Holstein made a mistake, and there to capitalize was Renault Osterkamp. What did Holstein do? Just came in too hot into one. Is that what you think, Sean? Yeah, the car just wouldn't turn for him. Yeah.
Just overdrove it a little bit there. Yeah. Pressure, baby. Pressure.
Well, we talked about it. That's how you're going to make the pass. Watch this as the car starts to squiggle, and then you'll see that beautiful banana-flavored car on the inside go right by him.
See, you see banana. I see Swiss cheese every time I see that car.
I like Swiss cheese.
It looks like cheese. It looks like cheese.
Swiss cheese is way better. I'm going to be using that one from now on. Okay, Reed has made his stop. And he is in and out ahead of the guys that were behind. He's ahead. Now, Lopez is in the mix. He's ahead of To Catch, who's running in 19th. Reed running in 17th. About 3 seconds up on To Catch. Remember, in the mix in there is... Well, I thought it was Lopez, but he's not really in there. That's odd Jonas Villman who needs to make a stop. So Reed now the leaders of all the cars who have pitted. And Sean, I think that window's going to open up pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. Michael Mittner just came in, Sue.
Pitting from 8th position.
You know, Jordi Lopez made the right decision early, though, Sue, because he has picked up spots. He has managed to stay on the lead lap. Now, we know he's probably going to have to pit, but it won't be a long pit stop. You know, he may still be able to pull off a decent run here and salvage some really good points.
Well, that's the beauty of this format, the doubleheader format. If things go sour for you, if you had visions of winning and things go sour, then all of a sudden you think, okay, my goal has changed. Now I just want to finish on the lead lap, and I can recoup some of my losses in the sprint race. Let's look at Reed right now, or Mittner is who I want to find out. As it looks like Mittner is the leader of all the cars who've pitted. Mittner has come out. Yeah, he's right behind Jordi Lopez, but Lopez has one more stop to make. Mittner has about almost 4 seconds over Reed. And now we go to 10th position as we look at this battle. This is Kessler, Patrick Kessler, ahead of the Orange Viking, Kmart, Knut Martinsen. Knut had a little bit of off through the sand there and lost a little bit of time to Kessler.
It is not hard to do, Soup. This track is so challenging.
Of course, Knut Martinsen racing for Force Fissy. That familiar blue and yellow paint scheme.
Okay, a couple more cars in the pit. Enric Andre and Jurunde Cortel both come in at the same time, Soup. pit boxes are 2 away from each other. Dick Hortel overshoots his box, has to back up.
And Mittner just coming across the start-finish line right now. The guys we mentioned still in the pits. Now rolling. Now rolling is Andre. Andre's going to come out. This is going to be fun. He's going to come out right in front of Villeman there and to catch. And also in that mix is Magnan. Let's look at to catch this battle for 17th. Magnan all over the back of him. And I heard some more contact while that was going on. Let me go back and see if there was something. I guess we're okay. Look at that there. To catch fending off Magnan.
Yeah, Magnan, who was, again, off course there, coming down the hill, runs it out off to the left. Magnan just seems to be struggling here at Sonoma today, Sue.
You know, this season has really been different strokes for different folks. I mean, it is, what track do you like? We've seen drivers really, really good at one place, struggling at another.
Mittner, Lindstrom really in a battle right now, and here comes Jordi Lopez, got himself inserted into this mix. This is a battle for 12th, Sue.
Now, Lindstrom still needs to make that stop. Mittner back there, and Lopez is really not in the mix as well. In fact, there goes Lopez making his second scheduled stop. Meanwhile, the pass is being made by Mittner on Lindstrom, who still has to make his stop. Mittner has places to go, though. He would like to get up to Evan Emre. Now, where to catch was in this mix somewhere. Have we? Oh, no, it's Magnan. Oh, look at this. Let's go back to 15th position. This is Oscar Magnan.
Mittner spins in front of Lindstrom coming up the hill, Sue.
And it parked it in the concrete. Then he got it going. He loses a position to Reed, loses a position to Andre, and comes out, tries to get it loaded, gets it back up to speed just in front of to catch.
And
look at this. Stay with it.
Yeah, and now he's wheel to wheel with Magnan. Magnan just pulls off the pass there on Mittner. Mittner really struggling to get it back going again. Now he's under attack from to catch.
Yeah, he tried to come back on Magnan, and Magnan was able to make that pass to catch in there as well. So they run in 14th position right now. Magnan, Mittner, and to catch. Boy, those are some pretty big names far back in the pack. Hitting from 7th position, Kerry Nolden.
It's time, Sue. It's time. We're running out of time.
Also, Josh Thompson coming in. Remember, those guys were racing together. They are back out in the order they were running. Josh Thompson just ahead of Nolden right now. Nolden all over him. Meanwhile, while that's going up in front, you have the Swiss cheese flavored car of Rene Oosterkamp, Holstein behind him. Look at Ty McLeod has run the 2 leaders down, as all 3 of them are coming up on the back of Stephen Ash. Checking to see if Ash has made his stop already. He pulls over. Look at this. He lifts. He lets 1 by, lets 2 by, and doesn't have to let the 3rd one by because McLeod decides his pit stop time. And so does Oosterkamp.
Big decisions.
Stays out.
Big decisions being made there. 12 and a half minutes left to go. You know you need that pit stop. It's probably a good time to come and get it. You don't want to let the leaders get too much further away. You need yourself a little bit of time to work.
Let's go back while they're in. Let's go to 8th position. This is Josh Thompson. He's the guy who's leading. All the cars are pitted. Just going across pit entrance right now. Oosterkamp is just beginning to roll. He just left the pit stop. Here comes Thompson. I don't think he's going to get there. I think Oosterkamp's going to get this one heated up in time. He does. But wait a minute. Adam Tierney way out in front of Oosterkamp by miles. Oh, wait, I correct myself. Tierney hasn't made his stop yet. Yeah, that's why. Well, Oosterkamp, let me check my notes. Who was he racing with? Oosterkamp was racing with, McLeod. McLeod. Yeah. That's it. Look at that. McLeod is back there in 5th position. Thompson back in behind McLeod now. The one in the mix is Lawrence Sudden Strike to right. He's not going to be there.
Well, our top three Soups certainly still have to come in. They're working. Holstein.
Holstein in right now. Is he going to be joined by the guys who were following him?
No.
Look and see. Tierney, no, here comes Tierney. Tierney coming in, as does Daniel Morris.
Oh, okay.
So now
I thought maybe.
now it's Osterkamp just going past pit entrance right now. Holstein just hitting his box, and it is the very front box. Osterkamp through 12, crossing the start-finish line. Holstein rolling, Osterkamp full song, Osterkamp gets him. Holstein out in second, ahead of McLeod. When it's all said and done, they are back out on the track in the same order they were before the window. Osterkamp, Holstein, McLeod, and Nolden. I left out to right because he really doesn't belong in there. Nolden ahead of Thompson now. Remember, I think that battle been going on for a long time. Nolden finally gets the best of that. Thompson racing behind him now.
What a great job by Holstein there, executing that pit stop suit. No, he's not in the lead, but he sure came out with a chance. Left himself with a chance here to maybe get this back from Osterkamp.
The last car to come in is DeRike. Lee Robinson, let's go there. I think it just happened. Had a trip through the California dust and then nosed it into the wall.
Ouch.
And his day is done. This is not going to be fun. Once you get out there, it's hard to make the car go the way you wanted to go.
Yeah, he had to take the toe in after this. You're going to see him sliding through. Just cannot get it slowed down. Comes back across the track surface and knocks the front end off. He toes out. I think that's going to be the end of the race for Mr. Robinson.
Okay, with just over 9 minutes to go, let's run down your top 10 and their interval. Rene Osterkamp out in front by about a second over Christoph Holstein. Holstein, though, under threat from a man having a great race, and that's Ty McLeod. That interval's... We're not going to run down because I think McLeod has a run. Let's stay on this battle for second. Boy, McLeod has really gathered up Holstein.
He really has, Soup. He's going to gobble. It's not if, but when right now. Here he comes.
Holstein really being pestered by McLeod right now. McLeod about 4 car lengths back, just waiting for the opportunity. Ty, I need you to either make it, otherwise I'm going to continue my rundown. Let's stay on this here for a minute as they go up the S's. We ride on board with Ty there. Now we come off of him. He's got plenty of time. He's got 8 minutes of racing to go. And now Holstein begins to distance himself a bit. So let's continue on. Let's go back to 4th position. Kerry Nolden, about 0.6 of a second ahead of the man he's been racing the whole race. The newcomer to the series, Josh Thompson, having another good run for Infinity SimSport.
Yeah, you know what, Soup? He's given a lot of fight to Kerry Nolden. It's been a really, really good battle all race.
Running all by himself in 6th is Adam Tierney. Formula Mimi, that team sits in 10th position in the standings. Back in 7th, we got a nice little battle here. The Mega Dive driver, this is Phil Reed, being challenged by Enric Andre. Let's stay on this a minute. Andre really behind him now. This is a good one. As Andre looking anyway around Reed. Reed just wants to get a good point stay here.
Boy, Andre just got a really good run at it back there, Soup, in turn 3A.
Now they come through 6 right now. It's about a 4 car length lead. Now they're on full throttles. They go into 7 and 7A. Closing in. You can see the accordion effect. Reed drops back in there. Andre not able to get this done. Let's see if he gets a good drive off here. Don't think it's going to happen yet. We'll come check on this in a minute. Let's drop back to 9th position. Haven't talked much about Daniel Morris. Privateer racing back there. He's got about 0.7 of a second. Here he comes. Oscar Mangan. Oscar, again, at least on my screen, and I think maybe you guys can see it as well, really having a blinking problem. Well, looks pretty good from the director there.
Yeah, it's somewhat been a problem for him for the whole race, unfortunately. That's a tough, we've talked about that before. It's a really tough situation to drive around. And you don't know where that opponent is going to reappear. Boy, Knut Martinsen just had big trouble coming out of turn 11 and allowed Patrick Kessler to get that spot away from him. Kessler up to 15th. Knut Martinsen back to 16th. Now looking at the replay here.
Oh, and as soon as that's done, Dave Cortell, who was running in 16th position, actually 13th at the time, just put it in the wall. We might be able just to go to Dave Cortell right now and just watch it. This is still on replay. Won't be too much. There he goes off. Boy, he locks it up. You're in the sand with the front wheels locked up. It's only going to go one direction, and that's the direction it's pointing. Look at 7th position. Oh, here it is.
Phil.
Oh, he's got to run.
And Andre does that move again.
Got it.
So gets a great run there out of the hairpin.
Move him up to 7th and leaving Reed behind. Just under 5 minutes of racing to go. It's been a good one here.
It really has.
California.
And guess what? The sprint race, I think it's going to be even a little bit better.
Let's go to 2nd real quick. Holstein again has another tough run through 3. He is being challenged now by McLeod. McLeod trying to push the envelope, trying to go over the curves right now. I think McLeod is faster if he could just find a way around. Holstein out there racing like a kidney stone, very hard to pass. McLeod trying to figure out a way around. So they head down into 7th. McLeod takes a peek to the inside, just doing a little peekaboo. Now, here comes the drive. What can he get off of here as they go up the S's? What do you think, Sean? You try to stay close through all of this and then maybe make a dive into 11? Is that
Absolutely.
your step?
Absolutely. That's what I'm looking for right here. I got to keep it close. Got to get in his toe right here off the exit. Just got to try and outbreak him. Just not close enough to make the move right there. Got to be a little bit closer, Soup, if you want to try and outbreak him down in the turn. But got a great exit off. That does keep him close. Great job there by McLeod.
Stay on this one. Holstein, we ride on board, looking back at McLeod in that kind of black and yellow car.
Yeah, McLeod's right where he wants to be now, Soup. That's the attack position right there. He's ready. Oh! I don't want to get too close.
Man, he is on him tighter than a scuba suit on a fat man. Coming into 6, trying to find a way around.
That would have been me at the beach the other day, Soup. Now, come on, easy.
McLeod really wants that spot as they come in now through 7. He's closer this time than he was before.
He's out there signing autographs as Chris Christie.
Google it, you Europeans. Not going to get it done. I don't know if McLeod's going to be able to make that move.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's got maybe 2 more laps left here, Soup, to try.
Let's stay on this for a minute, and then we'll see what kind of run he has. Then we have one more to check on here. We look at Osterkamp. Now he's doing, let's go to another, let's drop back to Reed in 8th position, because here's a guy I think is going to be a little more aggressive than McLeod, and that is Oscar Magnan. Look at this. He's coming. Poor Reed. Phil's been losing slowly like a position, and then another position, and then another position. And here he comes. Magnan with a run.
Oh, boy. And Phil just making that Renault just a little bit wide as he can. Nice defensive line up the hill. Not giving Magnan anything there. Doesn't give him a clean look. Oh, be careful.
There you go, Magnan. About a car length back. Now about a half car length back. There's the move. They're side by side. He'll have the. Let's see if he does get a nice drive off of this, as Reed had to take that shallow entrance into 6. Let's see if Mangan can get a good run off as they head down into 7. Mangan, for me, it continues to blink away.
Yeah, same here, Soup. Got to be careful. Phil on it. Just got to be perfect through here. Phil with a nice tight turn and a good exit. Keeps Mangan in the mirror.
46 seconds of racing to go. Holstein has distanced himself from McLeod. That's really not a fight. Coming across the start-finish line just a few seconds ago was Rene Oosterkamp. I'm feeling this is the white flag lap right now. Rene Oosterkamp with 1.5 seconds. Qualified second. Sat behind Holstein until Holstein made a mistake. Was first into pit lane. First out of pit lane, Holstein running in second. Ty McLeod started in 6th position. Not sure if he passed anybody, but he vultured drivers that had trouble like Andy Cowie, Oscar Mangan, and Phil Reed. Our leader works up the twisty 8, 9, and 10. Just a few corners to go. We don't need to go there. I can report that Nolan has been able to fend off Thompson. That doesn't look like that's going to be a battle for 4th. Tierney comfortable in 5th. Andre comfortable back there in 7th position. Tierney in 6th. Let me correct myself. And we will, after the leader crosses, we will go back and check on Reed and Mangan, because Mangan has not given up that battle yet.
No, he hasn't, and that's the one I'm on.
But
so
right now, let's go to Oosterkamp as he wins round number 4 in the feature race. Goes to Rene Oosterkamp. Let's drop back to Reed.
One last chance by Mangan. He's going to try and do it on the outside here in turn 11. He's going to try and cross him over coming off. Can he do it? Phil Reed with a really nice exit. He's on the power suit. Gets out of that exit just fine. Phil Reed. Oh, we're going to have to defend Mangan. Phil Reed. Give it to Phil Reed. 8th place. Mangan going to have to settle for 9th. What a run.
Rounding out your top 10, Michael Mittner. See if there's any other battles from some cars farther back. Let's go to 19th position. This is Lindstrom, who just has an off. He's going to lose a spot. No, I'm sorry. That was Cortel who just went off. De Cortel went off. Lindstrom gets 18th position. Well, so far, that's Tamaki behind him as they head down towards the start-finish line. 18th position is going to go, I think. Let's wait for the official timing and scoring.
Boom.
Lindstrom gets 19th. No, Lindstrom gets 18th. Bastamaki gets 19th. Cortel gets 20th. And who's our last car on the lead lap? Jonas Villman in 22nd. But Sean, look who's sitting in 21st position. I feel a winner for the sprint race in the name of Charlie Summers.
The number 350. Remember those 3 numbers, people. 350. Play those in your lotto numbers this evening.
Yeah, that's a pretty big name to have starting in the front row. Okay, the best part of any doubleheader is the event is the time between the races, the perfect blend of the post-race high, the pre-race jitters. At this point, GSRC is going to step away, but just for a moment. We'll return during the break between the feature and the sprint races to run down the entire feature race, results, and talk to a few drivers. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Apex Online Racing Formula Renault 2.0 Championship Round 4 from Sonoma. We just put the feature race in the books, and it was a darn exciting one. Let's run down your entire finishing order right now. It was René Oosterkamp qualified in second, coming home in first. Christoph Holstein qualified in first, coming home in second. Ty McLeod, Kerry Nolden, and Josh Thompson go third, fourth, and fifth. Rounding out your top 10, Adam Tierney, Enric Andre, Phil Reed was able to hold off Ostermangen, and the final driver in the top 10, Michael Mittner. Sean?
All right, let's take the next 10. It's going to be Daniel Morris. Christian to catch up 10 spots to finish 12th. 13th, going to go to Lawrence Direct. Jordi Lopez, 14th. Knud Martinson, 15th. Patrick Kessler, 16th. 17th, going to go to Evan Emre. Urka Lindstrom, 18th. Eunice Bastamaki, 19th. And rounding out the top 20, Jeroen de Cortel.
Now, if you remember the first lap of the feature race, we showed you Charlie Summer getting to the back of Manuel Hoyer. Well, Hoyer's day was ended, but we talked about being able to make lemonade out of lemons, and that's what Charlie Summers has done as he finishes in 21st position, but on the lead lap, going to start from the outside of row number 1. On the pole, Jonas Villeman in the double duck position there. Now all the cars that were a lap down, and there are 5 of those. Stephen Ash, Lee Robinson, we documented him going into the wall. Andy the Milkman Cowie, 17 laps down in 25th position. 26th and 27th, we saw both of these. Stevie Chambers and, of course, Manuel Hoyer, who got, well, punted by Charlie Summers. I think I could safely say that. I can speak for Manuel Hoyer. Charlie might have a different opinion of what happened. Let's go ahead, Sean. We have a driver here that almost got the win. Second place finisher, Christoph Holstein. I'll do the first question. Christoph, I think one mistake cost you the win.
I would maybe agree on that. Yeah, obviously, it's very hard to overtake on this track in general. So I guess, I mean, I had my problems in general with turn 2 in practice and in the race. But yeah, that one mistake definitely was not too good.
And you had Ty McLeod behind you there at the end, pestering you a little bit there. You had to do a little bit of defensive driving to hold him back.
Yeah, definitely. I was a little bit scared, to be honest, that you would, try to dive on me at some places maybe later on. But unfortunately, I had some good exits out of the crucial corners, so I was able to, keep it behind for the end, which is I'm very happy about, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you would be. Okay, 22 cars on the lead lap. That's mean you're going to be starting way back. I guess that would be inside of row 11. Just try to bring it home, huh?
I guess so, yeah. That's always the aim in the sprint races, I guess. And, just keep it cautious and then, see what happens. Sometimes it's a lottery. Sometimes you just, capitalize on people's mistakes. And I guess I just hope I don't get caught up in any incidents and have a clean race once again.
Yeah, before I let you go, you really didn't have much passing opportunity. You're up front for most of. If you had to, where's the place you make the pass? I guess into 11, the hairpin there.
I would say so, or into the double right-hander after the downhill long left-hander. Yeah, probably those would be the 2 potential overtaking spots. Also because there are heavy braking zones there.
All right, man. It's all about scoring points. You don't need to win to have a good day. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
Sean?
Oh, and Soup, apparently all the fairies approve. So let's talk to Kerry Nolden real quick. Kerry with a pretty good drive himself today. Kerry, a hard charger in this race, up 10 spots. You finished just outside of the podium, though. Talk about your run a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good race. Qualifying wasn't great, so to end up 14th wasn't ideal. It was 4th in practice, so I thought I put a kind of decent banker in, but I couldn't get any of the other laps together, so I was 14th. And then I thought it was just going to be a really tough race from there because it's so difficult to have a pass at someone, and we're all super tight on pace as well. So I think I was only half a second off pole and I was way back. So kind of had to attack lap 1, which I did. I ended up, I think I was 7th or 8th, I think, after lap 1. So that was really good. Hope to do the same in the next race, but we'll wait and see. And yeah, some people just fell off the wayside, and normally I'm one of those guys that joins them, so it was nice to keep it on the island for once. And then, yeah, I spent most of the race behind Thompson. Couldn't really do too much. We were quite similar on pace. I actually had an off and thought I'd damaged my front wing, so I went into the pits. At the same time, Thompson came in as well. So I was hoping that would be my one shot to get past, and I came out just short and just behind him still. Didn't have any front wing damage though, so that was okay. We were still able to battle. Yeah, and then I got one sniff of an opportunity. He didn't defend, and I just threw up the inside into the hairpin, and he saw me coming, and it was the one chance I had. Lucky I kept it slowed down, because last week I did the same thing and spun. So yeah, it was just a nice move, and then just from then it's so difficult for him to get back past me because there's nowhere to really to pass. So it's just about bringing it home. And shame the top 3 didn't really mingle a little bit more, but I think full team's pretty good.
Talk about the tires a little bit. Were they ever an issue?
It's so tricky to kind of tell. I mean, they generally make the distance, so there's never an issue with degradation in terms of lap time. But when you get them lit up, it's quite hard just to bring those temperatures down, so you have to survive a couple of corners of it being a bit loose. And so you find yourself going through lap by lap, the car kind of changing a little bit, and you kind of just have to react to that. So, and that's been kind of a weakness of mine, really, just to... I feel like I'm taking the corner exactly the same at each and every lap, but sometimes it will spin on throttle, and sometimes it will understeer, or sometimes it'll be fine. So it's tricky to really gauge what they're really like. I mean, it's the same for everybody, but ultimately degradation's good. I think Phil was struggling a little bit. He had a spin and then just really felt like he couldn't get the grip back. So I don't know. It's a funny old thing, really. The tires, and that's not just in this category, but everywhere else, really, as well.
Right. All right, Kerry. Well, hey, buddy, thanks a lot for giving us some time. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to you again. Go out there and have a great run in the sprint. Okay, bud?
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, Soup. That was Kerry Nolden. We appreciate his time. I think we're going to take a quick break, aren't we?
And with the bells of Mission San Juan Bautista ringing in the background, GSRC going to take a quick break, but we'll come back to cover the sprint race. It'll be up in just a few minutes. Don't go far. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula 2.0 Championship, Round 4 from Sonoma. The feature race is in the book, and now it's time for the excited sprint race that's coming up. Sean's going to tell you all the details about that one.
Yes, sir. It is time to get this sprint race going, buddy. Listen, it was got a very short one here, okay? It's only 25 minutes. You don't have to throw the pit stop out the window. Forget about it. Nobody's pitting here. If you're pitting, you're losing. Simple. We're inverting the grid via the results from the last race. Now, if you finished last on the lead lap, Mr. Summers, then you will start on the pole, and our big winner, well, they'll be starting at the back. And all those who did not finish on the lead lap, well, they start at the back also. Incident cap here, it's only 12 X's, but it is a shorter race. We didn't have any problems with that in the first race, but Soup, in these sprint races, we tend to see things maybe get a little bit more tense. It could be an issue before the race. We'll see if we can keep everybody on the tarmac and out of cyberspace during this event.
If you got your bookie's phone number on speed dial there, go ahead, give them a call. Put this month's rent money on Andy Summers to bring this, or Charlie Summers to bring this thing home. You're probably not going to get very good odds, but I think it's a pretty sure bet. The real story of these races are always, Sean, how do those guys who fared well in the feature race, they may not get the win, but how many points can they salvage? Last time we saw Phil Reed have a great one, actually getting the win, but how far can they come up? You know, we saw Lopez have a horrible race last time, and he came home second last time at Zandvoort.
Listen, Soup, you can gain as many points as you want, but you've got to do it with tactical precision, my friend. It's especially here.
Yeah.
Kerry Nolan talked about the ability to pass, and he said he made most of his positions up on that first lap, on the opening lap. So, well, if Kerry Nolan's doing that, how many in this field are going to be doing that here in the sprint race? That's what I'm going to be watching there. Boy, it could end in tears for many here on the opening lap.
See, I think the whole thing, these guys are coming into this with the attitude of, man, it's hard to pass. The best opportunity to make up spots is in the opening lap. And that's not the kind of attitude you want to actually get this thing through. So I think the best way to get positions might be to start from the pits and just wave to them off in the sand and the trees as they're stuck there as you drive by. That would be my strategy.
Well, there are going to be several strategies worked on here. I think we learned a lot in the feature race. But, as we've seen in every sprint race this season and last season, you can almost throw out everything you knew about these drivers in the opening race because they all seem to just kind of come unhinged when we get to the sprint race. So we'll see. Charlie got his work cut out for him to defend up front, but boy, I certainly like his chances. If he can just get about a second and a half break to start this race, he may be good to the finish.
Sometimes Charlie's been his own worst enemy, is that he's cost himself some higher finishing positions here today, this season. We'll see how he does now. I expect him to probably make short work of Vilman, who he's next to, and get out there and then start leaving the guys behind. We'll keep an eye. We'll track some of the other guys. There's some also big names that were back there. Christian to catch. Keep an eye on. He didn't have a very good run, but let's run down your starting order right now. It's Odd Jonas Vilman and Charlie Summers. Sean?
Row 2, Jeroen de Cortel and Eunice Vastamaki.
Urkel Lindstrom and Evan Emre after that.
Patrick Kessler, Knut Martinson.
Row 10 made up of Jordi Lopez and Lawrence Suddenstrike to right.
Row 6, Christian Tkach and Daniel Morris.
Michael Mittner and Oscar Manga make up the next row.
All right, row 8, Phil Reed, Henrik Andre.
Andre Tierney and Josh Thompson behind them.
All right, row 10, Kerry Nolan, Ty McLeod.
Row 11, Christoph Holstein, Renee Osterkamp.
Row 12, Lee Robinson, the Milkman, Andy Kelly.
And 25 and 26, Stevie Chambers and Stephen Ash. A couple Steves in the very back there. 26 drivers, so we're missing one. We had 27 in the first one. Right now, they're starting to harmonize. Here we go. This is going to be a short one. 25 minutes. Gather up the chickens. Take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn. And the pony that is jumping to the front is Charlie Summers as he makes does quick use, gets by Vilman. Right now, Vilman is really struggling as he drops back to third position. Getting around, and Vastamaki is now up to second. And now moved into third position. That is Decourtel, Jeroen Decourtel. Boy, we've been waiting for him to come to life. This could be the race. Vilman drops into fourth, settling now Urka Lindstrom in fifth, Sean. Oh, and there's a spin in the back. Just one driver, and they're all back on. Oh, my boy, did the whole field dodge a bullet there. But there is a pinata full of bees coming back in about 13th position. There's more bumping and bang, and there it is, 13th. Or a little bit farther back, maybe 15th position, huh?
Yeah. Keep going, Soup. I got it. That was Holstein involved in that.
Yeah, it was our winner. Holstein is... Well, we talked about it. We'll come back and we'll show you that one a little bit later once things settle down. Right now, it's Charlie Summer out in front by 1.3 seconds. Jonas Vastamaki trying to run him down. He's being challenged by Jeroen Decourtel. Let's stay on the second position because I think Decourtel is going to want to get that spot pretty quickly. Jeroen, a very good driver, having a horrible season so far. Dives to the inside, working in 11. Now let's see what kind of run he can get off. He gets it done. Cortel up into second. Vastamaki back into third. Emre running in sixth. To catch is up to seventh. There's a name to keep an eye on. In fact, let's go look at sixth position right now. This is Emre being challenged by To Catch. Making a move behind them, Knut Martinson. Oscar Magden now trying to get on Martinson. Ducking to the inside is Enric Andre. Andre gets loose. He spins. I think somebody might have got into him, but he stays there.
No, that was all curb, Soup, for Andre.
But a little tap. Yeah, it was Josh Thompson got into him, but it wasn't Josh's fault. He just got the spinning car going by. Thompson, I think, picked up a little bit of damage. We'll come back, maybe look at that one as well.
Andre gives it up. Come in the pit after that, Soup. He took the toe.
Yeah. The exciting part here is 13th position. Phil Reed just worked his way around Thompson, who I'm not sure how healthy that car is. Reed now looking on the back of Nolden. Now, I believe that Nolden gets a little bit off, and he's going to let his teammate. I thought he was going to let Nolden go by, Reed go by, but Reed's going to follow him behind. Those two guys racing for Mega Drive. Nolden in the blue car.
Boy, look at the
Reed in the
battle
red
right
car.
behind him. The battle right behind him is intense. Thompson, Mangan. Oh, and a stack up there in the hairpin.
Kessler.
It was Kessler. Spun all by himself in an air. He leaves it right in the middle of the track. Lets Every get by. Holstein, who had already had trouble on the opening lap, spins it, getting out of the way, trying to make an evasive move. Here's the replay.
Kessler might have got a little help from De Rijk. That was the black car.
Yeah, and then you missed it. The purple car. There was Holstein coming out of the coming off the exit. He spins it around also. Big trouble for our winner from the feature race here, Sue.
Holstein's still out there, huh? I scratched him off my clipboard here. I thought he had that incident early. I guess he's still racing. I guess 25 minutes, he figures there's plenty of time.
He kept digging. That's right.
So, as usual, there's not a lot of stuff going on up front. It's a matter of these guys trying to run through. Again, the action looks like fifth position here. Lindstrom, Emre, To Catch. They're coming right at you. That's To Catch in the red car. There's Emre, right? There's Lindstrom. To Catch in that is following the, that's the SimRC. No, it's not. That's a Force Fissy machine there. Evan Emre in the yellow car. Emre almost gets into the back of Lindstrom. Now To Catch has a run. This is Mittner in seventh.
Watch Mangan. Watch that blue and white car back there, Sue. Here comes Mangan.
To Catch has to back off as Mittner has got around him, and you got it. Magnum now on the back of To Catch. Magnum's got around Martinson already. Another big name running in 11th is Nolden. Nolden is off in the sand. He's going to lose a spot. to Phil Reed. Reed picks that one up. His teammate goes by. They get it worked out.
Boy, Jordy Lopez went off too, Soup, and then he towed out.
Jordy pushed the envelope, well, he pushed the envelope a little too far.
He did, Soup, and then everything went bad for him on the opening lap as well.
Let's go to 6th. This is Emery being challenged by Mittner. Boy, Mittner made a run. They were working through 7. Mittner is coming. Emery just taking his racing line. If Mittner's going to do it, Emery's not going to put up a real battle, but he's got to do it cleanly. Meanwhile, Emery's closing up on Lindstrom. Into 11. Look at the accordion. The bellows close. The bellows open.
Yes, they do, Soup.
Papa, baby. Papa.
Wow, what a race in this pack right here. Everybody scrambling.
Emery took a peek at Lindstrom, lost a lot of momentum, and that's going to give Mittner now the chance to get in there. Mittner can't do it. Boy, Mittner all over the tailpipe of Emery right now. And now making a move on the inside, that blue car, that's Mangan again. Mangan gets the pass made, then he loses it right in front of Tkach. Tkach gets it back.
Yeah, Mangan couldn't hang on to it. Car was sliding all over the track. Tkach gets it back. Now Mangan going to try and get that back from him. It's going to be really tough down the hill here. Not a good passing opportunity. Just behind them, Knut Martinson got back ahead of Phil Reed, Soup.
Yeah, then Reed, the Martinson had to check up because of all the nonsense going on ahead. And there it is one more time. Mangan on the inside, Tkach on the outside. Mangan's going to get the drive. Tkach has a horrible exit. Now that's going to open the door for Martinson if he wants it. Nope. Tkach able to drop in and close the door on Martinson. Martinson happy in 10th, but he's got those 2 Mega Drive drivers back behind him, wants those spots. Let's go up to 4th position. Jonas Villman. He started on the pole, had a horrible start, but then was able to settle in, running nicely now in 4th, ahead of Lindstrom, who's not able to close. Sean, this is a good track to be in this position of one of these guys. Everybody is just enough, not slow enough to let the guy by, if that made sense.
Yeah, perfect sense. Boy, Mittner back here working so hard on getting around Evan Emery. It is Mangan in this picture now. Oh, Mangan just looking all kinds of scary as he comes up next to you. I would be intimidated myself, actually. Mangan gets that position coming down the hill on the inside. That's going to set him up really, really nice to make a run at Emery. And again, though, the problems with the connection.
Yeah, that's Mangan right alongside of the red car. That's Mittner that he was trying to get around. Emery up in that yellow car. And now Mangan has dropped back. Boy, you make a failed attempt, you lose all your momentum, and then you fall back into the clutches of Christian Tkach, who's got to just be anxious to get the pass made, but a little bit worried as Mangan continues to blink.
Soup, I'm playing the numbers 3, 5, and 0 tonight. Anybody else is welcome to play them if they want.
Let's look back at Rene Osterkamp. Let's see if we can find, he's our hard charger back in 14th position. The going has been a little rough for him. He's picked up the most spots, 22nd to 14th. But he's got a ways to go. Osterkamp got a ways to go. He's just inside the points right now. He's got to get up a while. Once he can get up there, he gets up to this train. Let's jump to 10th.
Yeah, we need to, Soup. Because Christian Tkach right now in a battle with Knut Martinson side by side. They come down the hill.
And that's Reed behind trying to follow in behind Tkach. Martinson trying to hold onto that spot. He had visions of taking the spot. Now he just wants to hold off from Reed. Oh, and Tkach gets a little loose. Tkach gets the worst of it. He bumps Martinson off into the sand. I don't know how much the yellow and blue car of Martinson is hurt. Tkach is gone.
Tkach got more than a little loose. He got a lot loose. He hits Knut Martinson. Martinson is fine and rolling on. A little bit of scuff on the car, but you're going to see what happens to catch, and it's not good. It runs off and hits that tire barrier. That ends his race, folks.
Boy, and Reed was lucky as that was the catch got right, and I think that was Reed that he almost clipped from behind. Reed able to hang on. Let's go to 12th position here. This is Martinson losing a spot. Tierney gets it. Martinson now being challenged by the red, white, and blue car of Kerry Nolden.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Kerry's going to have trouble attacking Kerry. A little bit of damage on his Renault on the left front there, but he's giving the fight here to Martinson heading up the hill. He's got no grip. He's losing that downforce, lack of it on the left front, really hurting there, Kerry.
We're watching all the action. We don't need to go there. This report, Charlie Summer up by 3 seconds on Jerunde Cortel. Once Cortel got around Vastamaki, he was gone. Jonas Vastamaki running in third. He's got a 4-second lead. We can report that Emery was able to get around Villman. So Villman now back to 5th. And they're coming, Odd.
Soup just up in front of them. Phil Reed, Oscar Mangan still going at it.
Yeah, look at that. That's a battle for 9th. This is a pinata full of bees that's coming up on Villman.
Well, yeah, it's more than a battle for 9th. It's a battle for the top 5, really. Those 5 cars all line astern right now, but man, they have been really mixing it up here.
Andy Cowie looked like, where was that? Looked like 7 there. Is that 7 or is it the hairpin? No, it looked like 7. Gets loose. And we have to stay on this one. Cowie had to spin. We're not going to go there because this is just too good to watch right now.
It is. Mangan and Lindstrom and
here's Mittner making a move now.
Oh, Phil Reed almost makes contact there. Right up the wing of Mangan.
There's battle going on. Okay, here comes Mittner making a move on trying to get on the inside of Villman. Villman doing a great job, but now he leaves the opening, and now Mittner gets the drive off. So, Mittner up to 5th.
Oh, man. Kerry Nolden, Knut Martinson, they've got trouble in turn 4, Soup. That's on the replay.
That's Nolden making the move on the inside. And I just got to think that Nolden didn't keep that inside line. Martinson gave him room, I thought. Martinson continues to race. In fact, Martinson just got around Josh Thompson back there in 16th position, 17th position. That's not going to be for points. So now,
Mangan making a dive into turn 11, Soup. Trying to take the spot away. He does. Gets by Villman.
Villman dropping to 8th, and now here comes Phil Reed going to try to follow through. As they work around this sweeping corner number 1, he's on the outside. Villman does a good job of staying off. Reed checks up. That's going to let Tierney get into the mix. Holstein just got into the back of Josh Thompson. We should probably get this one. It was about 15 seconds ago, maybe 20 seconds ago, if we can find it, because these guys were running well. There it is right there. That's Thompson getting into the snows, and there we see Holstein going off in the blue car. So 2 big names get together. One more time from up on top. That's Thompson in the white car, Holstein in the blue car. And then they both touch each other, and we think they both hit the incident limit at the same time.
Talked about that in the pre-race, Soup. Definitely a possibility.
So wherever you go into that vortex of infinity, they've gone together. Hope they were holding hands.
I got a screenshot of it, Soup.
Okay, a still picture of them disappearing. Good. Let's go to 4th. Mittner continuing to pressure that yellow car of Evan Emre. The force fishing machine of Emre doing a good job out in front. Mittner trying to get around Mangan behind him.
Yeah, and you talked about pressure. Mangan's starting to put on his own little bit of pressure here, turning up the wick here on Mittner. Hey, I want to give a nod to Evan Emmerich. I don't know if we've talked about him enough, Soup. He's put on a spectacular drive here so far.
Looking right on board, looking off the back.
Now he's being attacked. Aye.
Well, that was going on. Tierney had a self-spin. He was racing in 10th position. He's going to lose, I believe, 4 spots, dropping back to 14th. Tierney cycles in behind Lee Robinson. But that's just another position, I believe, for Osterkamp, who has made his way up to 10th. In fact, let's go to Renee right now. Here he is. Renee coming up on the back. This is Lindstrom and Villman. Lindstrom has got around Villman. Villman back to 9th. Osterkamp has ran these guys down. This is some low-hanging fruit for the SimRC racer.
I personally like the low-hanging fruit,
Well-
Soup. I'm only about 5'6", so.
There you go. It'd be low-hanging fruit on any track. Careful! And Osterkamp puts it in the sand. We've seen this before. The same place. How many drivers have we seen? We think he banked it off the wall.
Oh,
I was just about to say it's low-hanging fruit on any track, but maybe not Sonoma. Watch this. I don't know. I think he just checked up. I don't think he got lost control. I think he just went out there to try to keep off the back of the car he was closing in on.
I think he's fighting the wheel just a bit, Soup.
Yeah.
Definitely got some wing damage there, but I think he might have picked up just a hair of suspension damage, and that is causing trouble for him as he is trying to fight off Kerry Nolden, who would love to get a top 10 finish here.
Yeah, he's going to surrender that one as we look at it there. There goes Nolden. That was not much of a fight from Osterkamp. I think he knows what he's dealing with there. I think better to let him go by and to see how many points he can salvage. The bad news is he's in 11th. They don't pay as far down in the sprint race. It only pays down to 16th. So he can't, every spot he gets up moves him that much closer to getting nothing. Let's go to 5th position. Mangan is making a run now on Mittner. Boy, Mangan all over the back of him. He has to back off a little bit as they work through the S's.
Mangan has definitely made his presence known. Both him and Mittner have come up 9 spots. I mean, they've done this together, basically, Soup.
Let's go to Kerry Nolden right now, about 15 seconds back. We just saw Nolden get around Osterkamp. Man, it is the Achilles heel of everybody. The same corner. I guess it's 10 that they're having trouble with. He gets it off in the sand again. Oh, I guess he picked up too much curve on the inside, and there it is again. Deja vu.
You're just so tempted to push there. I mean, to really, really try and stay flat on the throttle through there. If you miss the turn in, though, it's so easy to run off. You can't pull the car back in quick enough, and you can't get on the brakes too hard. If you do, you'll just go spinning down the track there.
So Osterkamp, who just lost that position to Nolden, gets it back. But now if we go to 10th position, Osterkamp in that damaged car, he did the same thing that Nolden just did, but it wasn't quite as severe, is now being challenged by Daniel Morris. Morris started 12th, up a couple of spots here. If he can get this past Maiden, I think it's going to happen pretty easy. And that's pretty much that's what you call a Toreador there, a little Olay pass, just wave them by. A little bullfighting there, brought in a little bit of the Spanish roots there for my European friends. Cowie and DeRike together again and in the wall again, and they both blink away.
Yeah, boy, they were coming down the hill out of turn 6. Make that contact, and yeah, both gone. See you later.
See, that's probably a 4X. They didn't need to be right on the border, but close enough where 4 put them both over. I don't know about where the Twilight Zone is, but they're having a party out there now as the drivers keep ending up there.
Yeah. Boy, a big party. A party of 4. Hope they got a big table.
Submitted for your approval. Meanwhile, having no clue about any of this nonsense going on behind him is Charles Summers.
I'm thinking Charlie is having a little bit of fun up there, Sue.
My goodness, he's got just over 5 minutes to go. 6.2 second lead. Jeroen de Cortel again. Soup and crackers. Dick McFall's got to be saying, I'm having a horrible season. Here I am racing in second. Give me a little love. You're out there 6 seconds behind the guy you're in front of and 12 seconds behind the guy that's chasing you.
Now, this battle on screen is great. Vastamaki and are going at it now really, really hard with Michael Mittner. Mittner been working on this for a while. Going to make a look at him here in 11. This is all about the exit right here, Soup. And, yeah, just a good enough exit for Mittner to stay with him. We're going to try and set him up for a pass here as they get ready to head up the hill.
With apologies to Vastamaki, this is the wolf and sheep battling it out here. Look at that. The wolf's going to have to wait a little bit. Oh, and the sheep lose. But that's a little... Oh, I thought maybe Vastamaki might be able to come back because they both kind of blew that corner. It's a matter of who did it worse.
And here comes Phil Reed. That opened things up for Philly there, Soup.
All right, Phil Reed running in 5th position. Vastamaki in 4th. He qualified in 4th, so able to hold his own. We look there. How about we drop back 8th position, Director? Odd Jonas Villman. He's had an eventful day. Started on the pole, lost some spots, then vultured some on attrition. Right now running in 8th, just ahead of Urkel Lindstrom. Daniel Morris will be on this one pretty soon.
You know, they were all part of a bigger battle a little while ago. Vastamaki, big trouble, Soup. Big trouble.
Through the S's.
Yeah, it looks like he lost it on the exit of the S's there. That last turn through, yeah, oh boy, too much curb. That right front got over, and that just hooked him around. Look at the damage on that car.
The sheep did the best he could, but he finally got sheared now as he falls back into 10th position. Lee Robinson on him. Vastamaki, not much he can do but just keep the car going straight. Robinson gets around, moves up into the top 10, picks up some points. Ty McLeod next. And Osterkamp has fallen back to 14th with that damaged car. It'll be interesting here with 2 minutes and 30 seconds if Osterkamp has enough to get to Vastamaki. Vastamaki really struggling, giving up points as he's dropped back to 12th.
You know, Soup, I'm beginning to wonder how much of Oscar Mangan's car he has used up, because Phil Reed setting really good pace right now, and Mangan just not able to reel him in. And I'm just wonder if all the charging, Mangan up 9 spots, I wonder if all the hard fighting he's done may have used that machine up, because Phil Reed seems to have the advantage right now as they make their way through the S's. I don't think Phil's going to give this spot up very easily. He currently sits in 4th with an outside chance of getting up to the podium.
Going to be a real close points day for both of those guys. Reed was able to best him by 1 spot in the feature race, and he's going to do it one more time again, it looks like, here in the sprint, if everything holds as it is right now.
Soup, look at the time. Whoa. This race almost over.
And I believe when our leader comes around this time, he'll be given the white flag.
Man, our leader has really just got the jump on the entire field. I mean, he has really gapped the top 10.
This race pays 20 points, but I don't think he scored. He finished 21st, which is out of the money in the feature race, so he's going to have about a 20-point day. Respectable.
Oh, Vastamaki in trouble, off track. He was coming up the hill and it ran off course.
Right in front of
something. Oh, yeah. Remember, he was driving around on a damaged car to begin with, and I think he finally just gave up on it.
Well, that is a point for Osterkamp, remember, who was looking to get that when we talked about him, that damaged car. He's just trying to stay out there, get what he can. Summers comes across the start-finish line, gets the white flag. 12 corners to go between him and I think his second victory of the season. I don't have my notes in front of me, doing that off the top of my head, but I think he has a sprint race win earlier on this season.
All right, so I'm gonna help set you up for this. You take the win then take Mangan and Phil Reed continuing to go at it, and then
Okay.
I'm going to handle the rest of these cars right now.
You got
being
it.
led by Urka Lindstrom, a battle for 7th place.
Crackers
lap
and
to
I
go.
have done this before. In fact, the best battle right now, we're looking at that one right there. This is Billman we're looking at. Another good battle. Let's go there right now. Reed, oh my goodness. This is Reed and Mangum. Mangum was all over him. Made a real aggressive move. That Mangum in the back in the blue and white car on Reed. I didn't mean to steal it away from your battle there, Sean, but Mangum was getting very frisky. All this going on, our leader working through 10 right now. It is Charlie Summer. He just has to work his way through the hairpin around pretty much a nonsense curve of 12 that really has no effect. Nothing between him and a sprint race victory now. Give round number 4, the sprint race, to Charlie Summers. Portel gets second. All right, let's go back to Mittner and Reed. That's the one that Sean told me to cover. And it looks like... No, I'm sorry. Let's go back to Reed and Mangden. There we go. Coming into the hairpin, Mangden making the move on the outside. Not going to get it done. I think we can safely say that Reed is going to get 4th position. Go ahead, Sean. What do you got?
Oh, and what I've got is Urka Lindstrom still leading that pack, and a couple cars went off just behind him, but it's... and there he is coming to the picture. Todd McLeod was one of them. McLeod was in that battle. It's going to be Lindstrom across, though. 4th, 7th. Willman there in 8th. 9th going to go to Daniel Morris. Lee Robinson and Adam Tierney all come across there soon.
McLeod trying to limp his car across the start-finish line. I guess he got 12th.
12th, yeah.
Just ahead of Osterkamp. Chambers coming around.
12th in a big-time cut course, I'm sure.
We're going to look at... We're going to look at the McLeod's... incident here. There's that same corner again. I'll be honest with you, I didn't spend any time on this track, but if you would have asked me which corner is going to cause the most problems, corner 10 would have been my last choice, but man, that has claimed them all today. All right, well, there we have it. The sprint race is in the books. What we're going to do now on the Global Sim Racing channel is take another short break, but don't go away. We'll come back to run down the entire finishing order, maybe look at a few replays if we can, talk to some drivers, and then close up shop. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship Round 4 from Sonoma. We got the feature race in the book, we got the sprint race in the books, and let's go ahead and run down your finishing order right now. We expected him to do well, and sure enough, Charlie Summers started from second position, got the lead early, and went wire to wire. Basically, Jeroen Cortel had a great run, finishing in second. Michael Mittner up from 13th from third. Phil Reed from 15th to 4th. Oscar Mangan from 14th to 5th. Evan Emre and Urkel Lindstrom come home in 6th and 7th. 8th position goes to Odd Jonas Villman. Daniel Morris in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, picking up 13 spots, Lee Robinson. Sean?
All right, yeah, buddy. 11th, going to go to Adam Tierney. Ty McLeod up 8 spots to finish 12th. Renee Osterkamp up 9 spots to finish 13th. Little Stevie Chambers comes all the way from the back, finishes 14th. Knut Martinson, 15th. Patrick Kessler, 16th. Boy, real hard loser there. Eunice Vastamaki going to wind up 17th, Soup. And Lawrence Sunstrike to Reich is going to be 18th today. Andy Cowie, the Milkman, comes up 5 to get 19th. Kerry Nolden, 20th. A lot of trouble for these guys back here. 21st, Josh Thompson. Holstein, 22nd. 23rd, Christian Tkach. Stephen Ash, 24th. 25th, Jordy Lopez. And Enric Andre. Last car, only got a lap in there, Soup. After so much promise, 26th place finish for him today.
16 drivers on the lead laps. The points pay down to 16th. Finish on the lead lap. Get yourself a point. That seems fair. Let's go ahead and talk to our second place driver right now. We're going to talk to Jeroen de Cortel. Boy, he hasn't had a great season. He's missed a lot of races. He had a couple did not finishes. Scored some points last time out at Zandvoort. And now today picks up a good points day. Jeroen, congratulations. Second place. Nice run.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a really fun race, I think. When I saw the starting grid with Charlie ahead, I knew that it was important to have a good start and finish the first lap in second place and try to keep up with him. But after 2-3 laps, I already noticed that Charlie was getting away from me and too quick, so I had to change my strategy a bit and try to just manage the gap behind me. And on this track, it's really difficult, I think, for the quick guys to come ahead in the field. It's difficult to pass, and you really need to drive ideal line to drive quick laps.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was just going to talk to you about. I think this track, more than any we've seen so far this season, passing at a premium, very hard to get around somebody. And once you're out in front, the line that you take, the normal racing line, is kind of the defensive line.
Yeah, exactly. So I was a bit lucky, I think, in the first lap with I passed Odd Jonas, I think it was, or no, Jonas in the last corner before start finish, and it was a tight corner, but I had to do it. We already lost 2-3 seconds, I think, on Charlie, and it was the only opportunity. After that, I think I would have been stuck for a while. So it's a really good track in a way for a sprint race and guys that can start ahead of the quick guys.
Looking over my team championship, I thought I saw your name, and you're driving for somebody. Are you not this season? On
sorry?
a team? Are you hooked up with a teammate this season, or are you driving by yourself?
No, I'm hooked up with an Eric Andre, and he had a really good feature race. So I think he got 7th or 8th. And he had a good pace, I think. We drove some practice yesterday together and shared some setups. And he had a good race. Too bad I see that he probably got crashed in the first lap on the sprint. But still a good finish for him in the future.
Well, I know it's summertime and schedules are busy in the real world. But, man, it's always fun to watch you race. So come and race with us as much as you can.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And great what you guys do with the commentary. It's really fun to drive in the AOR. And I really recommend people to join if they're interested. There you go. Thanks, Jeroen. Director, more screen time for Jeroen de Cortel next time when they compliment the commentators. We're not immune to flattery. Sean, who you got?
No, we're not immune to flattery at all. Josh Thompson, boy, what a run in the feature race.
Yeah.
Top 5, and then it all goes away for you, unfortunately, here in the sprint race. Talk to us a little bit about your misfortune here in the second half of the show.
Well, it all started on lap 2. I don't know who it was. Someone spun coming down in the banked right in front of me after clipping the curb. Span around, and as I tried to avoid him, I just clipped him just enough with my front wing, which gave it a ton load of damage. Just caused the car to understeer, and I lost so much general speed anywhere and grip. So I was really struggling. So I was having to fend off for 15. Got involved in a few incidents, like people not expecting the car to be as slow as it was at the end of a straight. So people going for moves at the end of a straight, which weren't even going to happen. So, but then obviously I had the one where it put me in the wall, which cost me the end of the race. So, bit disappointing after the highs of race 1, and I felt in a good rhythm all day.
Yeah, well, you did have a great rhythm in that feature race. I mean, you came up 5 spots to finish 5th there. You battled with some pretty good traffic, but sometimes bad luck finds you, and it did here in the sprint race today. We're really sorry about that, but next week you head to Imola. Things open up just a bit, not quite the tight confines of Sonoma. How do you like Imola?
Well, Imola is by far my strongest track in my opinion. It's the track I've always done well at, no matter what series I've raced in, especially in the Renault. But the problem is that I miss next week and the week after because I go on holiday. So I miss my favourite tracks. It's gutting, especially after I wanted to get sort of a comeback. After I was like, if I get another 2 top 10s this week, I'll be happy. Getting a 5th in the first race and then getting a DNF. I wanted then next week to be my best week because I knew at Imola I could get at least a podium at that track because I love it to pieces. But now I'm not there. I'm going to take it a drop week, which then puts this result. I've got to count it. All these races I've had with DNFs, I've had to count.
Wow. So, well, if you don't mind me asking, so you're going to go on holiday. Where are you going to?
Croatia. Just with some friends.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Josh, got to go hit Croatia for the holiday. And hey, buddy, we wish you the best.
Cheers.
And we'll see you when you get back, man. Safe travel.
I'll be back in 2 weeks. Don't worry, guys.
All right. We'll see you then.
All right. See you, guys.
That was Josh Thompson. Always a good sport there. Tough day for him. Soup, I think you've caught up with Ty McLeod.
I did. Just to follow up on Croatia, I had a friend that just went to vacation there and said, they had a war there and said it's beautiful now. It's a good place to fight for. So I'm glad things are picking up for them. Got Ty McLeod here. Ty had quite a day today. Hi, Ty. Came in the points 12th here in the sprint race. Did a little bit better in the feature race there. She finished, I believe, 3rd in that one. Am I correct on that?
Yep, you're right there.
So pretty good day for you. Man, passing here at Sonoma is brutal, isn't it?
Oh, it's near enough impossible, man. It's just, I was stuck behind Christoph Holstein in the feature race for what felt like forever. He done a really good job of defending. So, but it's just there's hardly any. I think the only place you could really safely make a pass was in the last hairpin. But you could force it anyway. In other places, I managed to force one on Andy Cowie. I think it was in turns 4 and 5, like the uphill left, right. But it was really, really hard to make a pass.
I'll tell you, maybe you can give me a little clue on it, where we lost most of our drivers, and I was surprised to see it. Sean kind of said it didn't surprise him so much, is out of 10 that run into 11, guys would get loose off into the sand kind of right before pit entrance and bang it off the wall. Did you put in much practice time? Was that a problem for you?
I did quite a lot of practice this week actually. But a turn 10 it wasn't really that hard when you were by yourself, but it's when you were following another car, you were getting affected by the dirty air quite a bit, a bit of understeer. But I suffered there in the sprint race, obviously in the last lap and in the feature race, but thankfully in the feature race it didn't really cost me anything.
Well, Ty, congratulations on a pretty good points day for you, and we'll keep an eye on you through the rest of the season.
Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the season.
Okay. Ty McLeod. There you go. Our 3rd place finisher in the feature. We'll give him credit for this best result there. We don't need to talk about the other one. How about one more, Sean? Who do you want?
Oh, boy. Who we going to take?
Oh, it's a toss-up. I'm kind of tired.
Let's bring them both in. Let's bring them both in real quick.
This may go on forever now.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I guess Phil didn't want any part of that. He disappeared. We'll take Evan.
Okay,
Evan.
take Evan.
Good evening.
Oh, evening. Yeah.
Boy, a lot of fun here at Sonoma today.
Well, the feature race wasn't so much. I didn't. I wasn't fighting any cars really. I'm pretty slow around here, and I finished in the lowly 17th. But the sprint race was lively because I held a lot of people up for most of the race and came away with a good result in the end. So very pleased.
Yeah, and listen, you fought hard. I even give a tip of the hat to you during the race there. That was a pretty solid effort there in the sprint race. You really did a great job of staying out of trouble, buddy.
Yeah, I'm always looking in my mirror for stuff going on. So, I held up quite a few cars, and then I overtook Erka and Odd in the last corner 2 laps in a row, and then I kind of got out of shape in the last part of the race, and but 6th place is still pretty amazing for being so slow around here, because it's difficult to overtake.
Yeah, we saw plenty of that today. Difficult to overtake, and very hard to when you fail to overtake somebody. Very hard to come back from that. You lose quite a bit of ground when you fail an attempt.
This track, each corner leads into the next, because there's a lot of S's. There's a couple of S's sections which, if you get held up, you'll lose a lot of time. So there was a lot of strategy going on in the feature race, I noticed, where people were pitting and getting in fresh air and jumping a lot of people. But yeah.
Well, Evan, we look forward to seeing you next at Imola, or are you going on holiday too?
No, I'm here for every single race.
Okay.
That's my life.
All right, buddy. Well, you know what? We're going to talk to Phil real quick, too. Phil, are you there? Can you hear us, buddy?
Hello.
Hey, there's Phil. Phil, man, Oscar Mangan was just giving you everything he had there at the end.
Yeah, both races.
Yeah. What was it like having to fend him off both times?
It was easier in the second race, I think, because I didn't have damage, so that kind of hampered my first race. But yeah, in the second race, it was still hard. Like, I think Oscar even had more pace, but I also had more pace. So it was sort of quite similar. But I didn't have to do as much defending this time. Apart from I did it into the final corner of the last lap because, well, I didn't want any sort of late dive bomb move. I thought if I can just keep it tight here, then it's going to be mine.
Well, you know what, buddy? Evan, Phil, you guys gave us a great race today. This was a lot of fun here at Sonoma, but we head to Imola. Are you guys ready for Imola?
Well, Imola's a tricky track, but I don't think it's really suited to the Formula Renault cars, but we'll see.
That is kind of a big one. Phil, what do you think, bud?
I mean, what have we done it the once or the twice? I know we've done it 2 times now in the Formula 1, and I don't think I've been particularly good there so far. But I mean, this season in general, I think I've been faster. So who knows? It could be the one that's good for me again.
Boys, thanks a lot for your time. We will see you next week at Imola. Soup and I are going to wrap things up and get out of here for the day. But again, thanks, and we'll see you next week.
See you.
All right, Soup. I think it's time to put a pretty little bow on it, my friend. Oh, by the way, the Croatian beaches are a very hot scene, buddy. There in the Adriatic Sea. We might have to take a trip over there at some point.
Okay.
I'm taking the Mankini for sure.
I'm down for that one. I'll start shopping for my Speedo. And with that said, we'd like to thank everyone at Apex Online Racing for organizing the Formula No 2.0 League, and to all the members who support this broadcast. We know you're a lot of choices when you fly, and thanks for flying GSRC. And we can announce there is talk about GSRC covering another one of the AOR series, so we're looking forward to that. Hopefully they can get all the I's dotted and T's crossed, and we can do that one as well. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that we use that we see on the screen right now, that we use on our broadcast. And of course, the original music heard on today's show is thanks to 2 guys, Eric Eckelm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
And Soup, the AOR returns next week, Friday, July 14th for round 5. from Imola. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us for more information about the Global Sim Racing channel. Your best bet is on our website. Yes, our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on social media. Find us on Twitter at GSR Channel and on Facebook. Just type in Global Sim Racing Channel. All one word.
That's what I do.
And you're there. You're on our Facebook page.
And now, on behalf of the man who you just heard telling you all that, that is Sean Crackers Ambrose, our director, the doctor of pits topology, I'm Jed Yaman, and our camera artist, Dougie Beard. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. And with that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.